What is going on, nerds and nerdettes? It is your boy Stevie B with a little something new for the channel. I'm going to try to do a few more like reviews or opinion pieces, just to, kind of let you get to know a little bit more about my thought process and the things I enjoy and the things that I not so much. I touched on a little bit of it with the whole C2E2 controversy. Again, it seemed to be well received. People seem to like to hear what I had to say. So we'll do a few more of these and we'll see how it goes. And let me know in the comments whether you want to see more content like this or whether you just want me to shut the hell up and mind my own damn business. But anyway, we're going to talk about She-Hulk, the attorney at law. First of all, for the first season, we'll talk about, or the first episode of the first season. I'm a She-Hulk fan. I like She-Hulk. I liked it before they announced that there was going to be a She-Hulk TV series. I was excited that there was going to be a She-Hulk TV series. And so I was anticipating this and I was excited for this. And then the first trailer dropped and my excitement went from here to about here. And let me tell you why. Right off the bat, it's the same reason why everybody didn't like it. It's the really bad CGI. I'm not a fan of supermodel She-Hulk. I'm just not. You put it into perspective. Bruce Banner. When he is Bruce Banner, he's this little squatty runt scientist guy, and then he turns into the Hulk and boom. The difference is night and day. It's so dramatic, the change. But in this She-Hulk, I know it's based more on the sensational She-Hulk stuff and not the savage She-Hulk stuff. I'm more of a fan of the savage She-Hulk. But honestly, she transforms from this into this. Honestly, it's like she gets 6 inches taller and better hair. She turns into this, and to me that's not a Hulk. They took a supermodel and spray painted her green, and that's it. Now, this, in my opinion, is a She-Hulk, and this is what a She-Hulk should look like, in my opinion. Look at this statue. It is done perfectly. We have, and I know what y'all are thinking. Oh my God, you would rather see this ugly beast of a woman than a hot chick. And yeah, I would, because we have plenty of supermodel superheroes in the comic book world and anti-heroes and everything else. There is plenty of hot women for the comic book universe. And when she's Jennifer Walters, she can be hot, be this supermodel. But when she's a Hulk, man, come on, make her a Hulk, damn it. Don't spray paint her green and have some elves run in during the transformation and do her hair. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous to me. But let's get into the storyline. First off, what I noticed was the fourth wall breaks. They're a little off-putting to me. I know she is the pioneer of fourth wall breaks, and they can be done in work in some instances. I just don't really feel that they worked here. But she's like, oh, I bet you're wondering, how did I become a She-Hulk? Well, let's start it. It's a 30-minute episode, so basically they crammed her origin into a 15-minute vignette. And what kills me is when she crashes with Bruce and his blood gets into her. He's like, I'm bleeding, get away from me. But his blood infects her. The reaction to it was like, he's like, well, my blood got in yours. I tried to tell you. And then it was like, but, oh well, you're a Hulk now. Let's train you. And it was just dismissed as if it were no big deal. Really? That's not a big deal to you to be infected with blood that makes you turn into a monster. I thought that was crazy. He did. He was so dismissive of it. He honestly, it's, oh well, I tried to tell you, but you didn't listen to it. But anyway, let's get started, shall we? And she wasn't even pissed. It seems like. It was just crazy. And then the whole training vignette was just, the whole thing was just rushed, and they basically skipped all her training and just said, okay, we're going to teach you how to do that. Okay, I'm doing it better than you already. And so everything she is infected, turns into a Hulk, and she's already has all the abilities that she's ever going to need. No training whatsoever. And I thought that was just horrible. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want a long-winded, drawn-out origin story any more than anybody else does. But my God. She went from infected to trained and ready to go, and can control her powers in 15 minutes to the episode. And then we got the gratuitous Hulk versus She-Hulk fight scene, which I understand. It wasn't really a fight scene as much as it was them kind of sparring. She was mad at him, but neither one of them really wanted to hurt each other. So it was more of a sparring match than a fight. But they did give that to the fans, and I thought that was kind of cool that they did do that. But then the first villain interaction seemed kind of, it was like, ta-da, I'm here, and boom, it was over, and it was that quick. So my biggest complaint with the whole thing is they rushed. They put too much into the first episode. They crammed it all in, and to the point where it just didn't make any sense. They just skipped over everything. It's like, let's get this, hurry up and get this out of the way so we can just dive in. So, some people think that's a good thing, and I do too, to a certain extent, but not that quick, man. Not that fast. You just can't, they should have dedicated a season at least to her development. Character development, that's what it's called. Character development. There was no character development. She's just has a wreck, and she's a Hulk, and she's good to go, ready to go. So I was a little disappointed in that. No development of the character. They could have shown her, learning a little bit about her powers in each episode throughout this first season, and kind of done it that way. But anyway, all in all, not a fan of it so far. I'm going to give it a couple of episodes. Wasn't a fan. I'm not a fan of the sitcom format either. I don't like superhero sitcoms. I'm not a fan of that at all. So, I mean, honestly, I would give it a 2 out of 5 stars. Only because they did deliver on some gratuitous fight scene that the fans really wanted. But I would give it a 2 out of 5. But that being said, I have noticed that there are a lot of people out there who share my opinion and just thought it was trash. And there's also a lot of people who absolutely loved it, and more power to both of you. It just wasn't my thing, but I'm not going to sit here and say it was trash. I'm just saying, for me, I didn't care for it. But the ones that think it was trash and didn't care for it are all posting Instagram screenshots of eBay prices and how the first appearance of She-Hulk is plummeting and going in the gutter because the show was so bad. And people are dumping this book, and that is a mistake, in my opinion. That is a mistake. Yes, possibly the show did not live up to people's expectations, and it wasn't very good. But this book here will always be a major key book. She-Hulk will always be a major character in the MCU, and in the comic books. Always be a major character. So I think dumping that book is a huge mistake. Typically what happens when there's movie hype, and we're going to run into it a lot. We're going to run into a shit ton of movie and TV series hype books that are going to blow up because, oh my God, this show has been optioned. Every time a show has been optioned, that book blows up. And 9 times out of 10, it blows up and then it peters out. On the rare occasions, it's like The Boys was one, The Walking Dead was one, that the show actually helps that book's value, increases that book's value, and it stays hot. But for the most part, most of the time, they go up really high and they spike when it's announced. And then once the movie or TV show comes out, even if it lives up to the expectations that everybody likes, it'll either plateau there for a while or it'll just plummet if the show sucks or whatever. If it doesn't live up to expectations, it'll plummet. And most of them, once they plummet, they stay that way. But some of them, like this one, like the first appearance of Carnage, is a perfect example. Carnage is never not going to be a key book, but it spiked really high with the announcement of Carnage in the movie, and then when it didn't live up to the hype, it kind of plummeted a little bit, well, quite a bit actually. But what's going to end up happening is it's going to level out at some point, and then because they are key characters and the book is always going to be a key, once it levels out and there's no more hype surrounding it, it's going to gradually and organically start to climb back up, and it's still going to be a majorly sought after book. So don't dump your keys just because the movie flopped or the TV show flopped. I don't think that is justification for dumping these key books. Mine will stay in its spot right there, along with this one, which I just as you saw in yesterday's video, I just recently got an upgrade. This one's got some spine roll and a few little tiny spine ticks, but that one I just got is near mint, so it'll get I'm going to get it in here and replace it with a better copy. But anyway, once again, Not a fan, Supermodel Hulk. More fan, Savage She-Hulk. And I wish they would have done something like that and not made it a sitcom. I would have enjoyed it better as a drama than more in the style of Daredevil than I do as a sitcom. But that is my 2 cents. Let me know in the comments what your opinion is. I'm always excited to hear a different side. You know, just because we don't agree doesn't mean one of us is wrong and one of us is right. It just means we see things differently, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if the world could just learn to adapt that positive outlook, then it would be a much better place. We don't have to agree to be friends. That is going to do it for my little She-Hulk review. Again, if you like what you saw, please do all those YouTube things I love for you to do. Just makes me all warm and fuzzy on the inside. And that's going to do it for this one, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
This is a pretty hardcore origin story.
It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna figure it out.
Were you followed?
No, I don't think so.